We are just hours away now before a government shutdown potentially goes into effect. If Congress doesn't strike a deal by the stroke of midnight, some federal offices will shut down, federal employees furloughed. So let's take a look now at how the failure of Congress to agree on a budget will affect you. Federal air traffic controllers will remain working. So will the majority of the Department of Homeland Security. Everything from the U.S. Coast Guard to the Transportation Security Agency will keep operating. Federal prisons will stay open. The State Department will keep processing passports, but there may be delays. Social Security and Medicare payments would keep coming. Food stamp benefits will be available, but many other services under the SNAP program that help needy mothers and children would be suspended. The U.S. Postal Service would remain in business, so don't worry about the mail. Turns out neither rain, nor sleet, nor shutdown will stop the mailman from delivering it. Federal courts are exempt, so court will remain in session, at least until mid-October. But if the government stays shut down longer than 10 days, judiciary jobs would be at risk for furlough. Active duty military is considered essential, so men and women in uniform will stay at work. But if there's a shutdown, it's likely paychecks will be delayed. That's because even though the military is considered critical, about half of the Department of Defense is not. On the chopping block, NASA. Most of its employees would be furloughed. A few workers would remain on the job to man mission control. The Food and Drug Administration would suspend most safety inspections. Perhaps taking the biggest hit, tourism. National parks across the country will close. So will museums here in Washington, D.C. That includes the Smithsonian Museums and the National Zoo. This 24-hour panda cam would go dark. The National Zoo tweeted, if the federal government shuts down on October 1st, the zoo will be closed to the public. All programming and events will be canceled. Ultimately, it is up to the executive branch to decide who is essential and who is not. Right now, it looks like roughly 800,000 federal workers, many of them here in Washington, would temporarily be out of work. And the first government shutdown in nearly 2 decades. In Washington, Liz Wahl, RT.